my interests in there. And so in its barest essence, I do not think lobbying is bad, because the fact of the matter is that we do have, under the First Amendment, the right to be able to speak freely and to petition our government, and we have those rights. But we can't always be available. And you're in, I believe you said marketing. You're in marketing. You're an expert at it, and yet you work for a manufacturing company. And I don't know, but could you run all the machines that they have at Wall? You see what I'm saying? We all have different areas of expertise. And so I don't mind having part of my Farm Bureau dues going to paying people who are experts at helping inform my elected representatives about the interests of agriculture. At the same time, while it is not an inherently bad thing, we do see a lot of influence peddling from lobbyists. We see a lot of bad legislation that comes out of lobbying groups, and that's frustrating, and I understand it, but the answer isn't necessarily to stop lobbying. The answer is to send good people to Springfield and Washington who will do the right thing and represent the people and do the correct thing, and not cave every time somebody from a lobbying organization comes by.
Well, let me stick with this for a second and press this a little bit, because one of the frustrations that I hear from a lot of people out there when I talk to people is the unwavering influence that lobbyists have, because they are there all the time, versus a normal person like yourself who would love to have a FaceTime with their local representative, even if it's just once or twice a year or quarterly, just to let their views be known. Is there any way we can look at tampering the influence of lobbyists? And I'll give you an example. One of the things that I've seen petitions for is that no lobby group can lobby a congressional representative or any state senator or federal senator that's outside of their district. In other words, if it's a group such as the Farm Bureau could represent you and to your district people because they have offices in your district. But if they were to not have that, for example, lobbyists from a Texas concern or a Michigan concern is lobbying you as a state representative or a state senator or a congressional, do you think there's anywhere where you can regulate things to the point where you don't have this undue influence?
No, I think that what you're talking about is not an imprudent step. That to be able to direct lobbying in appropriate ways is fine. But we do need to remember that the basis of lobbying actually goes back to the First Amendment, so we need to be very careful if we tinker with it.
Okay. I want to go back to Thompson for just a second. Is Thompson in your
yes,
district?
Thompson
Okay,
is in, yes, it is in the 71st.
Yeah, sometimes in the
Right,
congressional district.
Yeah, that's something else we need to do is in Illinois, and this is actually very important. We need to change the way we do district, the way we draw our districts in Illinois. When you look, I live in the 17th, and it is the most gerrymandered mess you've ever seen. The 71st district that I'm running for basically is the upriver half of Rock Island County and the western halves of Henry, Whiteside, and Carroll County. And so it's fairly, I mean, there are some very jagged lines, but it's big chunks of 4 counties. And yes, Thompson is squarely in it.
Okay. So Thompson is another one of those interesting issues where I'm not sure all information is being disseminated properly to people, but the federal government pretty much is going to buy it. I mean, it sounds like from what I've read, it's a done deal. It's being rubber stamped, and that the governor will sell it. And I wanted to get your feeling on Thompson. Do you think it's a security threat to the people in the area? Do you think it'll bring economic prosperity to the area? Do you think that it will in any way be a benefit or a detriment to the people of your district?
Mm-hmm. Well, first off, closing Guantanamo Bay is bad policy. Those people are in the right place right now. And so I basically have a fundamental opposition to anything that would change that. At the same time, you're absolutely right. This is a campaign promise from the president He is obvious, this is coming down from the White House. He is pushing this through, and it's a fairly small thing for him to manage, so it is likely to happen. Even though my basic thought is that I don't like the idea of bringing those people here, and also I am very upset that the state has mismanaged this situation for so long that we have a state-of-the-art prison sitting there essentially empty and it's just, someday the bricks are going to start falling because it's underused and under-maintained. In spite of all that, because of my philosophy of representation, I've come out publicly and said that I would support the people of Thompson and Carroll County in regard to their choice about whether or not they wanted to have this happen. And the fact of the matter is that the president and Senator Durbin and the governor have thrown out a very large stick with a very large carrot with a very bitter pill stuffed inside. And the people of Carroll County are willing to swallow the bitter pill to get the big carrot. Now, ironically, of course, and I was at the press conference in Moline where the governor first announced this. I wanted to make sure I heard it all. I didn't want to just get the news clips. I wanted to hear it all. And Senator Durbin came in and said, 3,000 federal jobs, top flight, blah, 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 blah. Well, the best numbers right now that we're hearing, and a lot of this, Congressman Manzullo has been a great help in getting this information. The best numbers we're getting are probably that as far as direct jobs, working at the prison, it'd probably be about 150 or so within a 150-mile radius of the prison, which would include Chicago. And the only people who are likely to get those jobs are young women and men in their late 20s and early 30s who have recently been honorably discharged from military service. Because when you go through all of the qualifications that one needs to have in order to apply, even be qualified to apply for those positions, those are the only people who are likely to be able to get those jobs. So the direct employment benefits are not going to be nearly what they've been touted to be. And that's something else I've been calling repeatedly, is to say, remember, the same people who are telling you you're going to have tremendous benefits from this are the same people who haven't managed to give you any of the benefits they claim they're now going to give you. And they've been telling you these tales for years and years and years. So don't suddenly believe that they're going to do everything they say now. Also, now we find out that the timetable is moving back. It's not going to happen as fast as they had first thought. Now, there will be positive economic impact, and because there is going to, if they open this thing, there will be employees. This thing will have to be serviced. I mean, there will have to be vendors that will have to bring supplies. I mean, it's going to be another town built in the middle there. And the Rock Island Arsenal will benefit because the military staff that will be guarding the Guantanamo Bay people, they'll be housed at the arsenal. It's going to be run from the arsenal, so it'll be beneficial for the Quad Cities. I can foresee it being beneficial for the housing markets in communities like here where we are in Sterling and the Quad Cities and Savannah, and so in Clinton, Iowa, and some other places. It probably won't have the huge impact right at Thompson that they're hoping to have, but the people up there want that, and I will support them in it, and am not standing against it. I'll add too that yes, I am also very concerned about the security issue. It's not the terrorists on the inside we need to worry about. Nobody gets out of a federal supermax. It's the terrorists on the outside we need to be concerned about. I am very concerned that a misguided 19-year-old who views these people as heroes may want to go pull some stunt in the community just to get the bed next to them. Or I am concerned that yes, this could become Guantanamo Bay, Illinois. I am concerned about that. But I was at the commission hearing here in Sterling that the state legislators had, and they'll give their report on the 15th and decide whether or not they are pushing it forward, but I think you're right. In essence, it will end up being a rubber stamp. And I was sitting next to a top executive at the